The Arkansas Department of Education has announced that an AP African American Studies class will not count for credit towards graduation pending review of course materials. It says the course, a pilot program, might violate a new state law against indoctrination in schools.
And now members of the Little Rock Nine, the group of black students who desegregated Arkansas's Little Rock Central High School back in 1957, are speaking out against the state's decision. This all comes as the Little Rock School District has voted unanimously to continue offering the class as an elective. And joining us now to discuss this, NAACP Director of Education, Innovation, and Research, Dr. Ivory Toldson, as well as member of the Little Rock Nine, Dr. Terrence Roberts. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Toldson, let's start with you. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders has said that this course promotes a leftist propaganda agenda. Can you explain the curriculum that has garnered so much criticism?
Yeah, well, the curriculum was devised by the College Board in conversation and consultation with dozens of African American scholars, those who are qualified to talk about the quality of a course on African American studies. Governor Sanders does not have those qualifications, and it really seems like there's misplaced priorities. Only 10% of the teachers in Arkansas are non-white. There are racial disparities in education, and African American studies, AP or otherwise, could be a way to bridge those gaps and to help African American students know their history, know their culture, and have something to strive to.
Dr. Roberts, you are a living part of history, so I'm curious what your thoughts were when you heard about these new restrictions on this course.
One of the first things that came to mind was this seems to be the old playbook that was used in 1957. The governor at that time, the governor of Arkansas, decided to call out the National Guard to prevent our entering the school. Now, given that situation and today's situation with the current governor, the idea is to prevent kids from learning, when you boil it down to that point, to get in the way of them understanding what's going on around them and what has happened before they were born. I think it's imperative that we alert the public that understanding history is vital if we are to understand the present. And if you have officials in their capacity blocking opportunities to learn, we have a situation that demands our instant attention. We have to do something about it.
And we should also point out that the Arkansas Department of Education has asked schools to send over course materials for review by September 8th. Dr. Toldson, how confident are you that the state will reverse its decision?
I'm not very confident in the short term, but in the long term, I think that there's enough resistance against it. The Department of Education, U.S. Department of Education, just put out guidance documents a couple of days ago, and they spoke to this kind of targeting in curriculum. And I believe that what Arkansas is doing is against federal law. I think it violates the Civil Rights Act when you treat one course differently than you treat all the others on the basis of race. And you use unqualified opinions to try to deny students the opportunity to take it, then I think that that is a violation that will be addressed. But I don't have a lot of confidence that the lawmakers in Arkansas will do the right thing on their own. I think it's going to take a lot of advocacy and activism and maybe some lawsuits.
Dr. Roberts, when it comes to the way that we talk and learn about race, do you think there's been much progress since 1957 when you were a student going to school?
Well, that's a very difficult question to answer in terms of, one, how do you measure progress? And what does progress mean? I think often we're more willing than not to embrace the idea of progress without taking a look at the stark reality we face today. In 1957, we faced a mob at school based on the fact that they still believed in the law as it had been handed down by the 1896 Supreme Court in the Plessy v. Ferguson case. That law had been changed in 1954, and yet attitudes and behaviors did not accept that. Mainly, the mob said to us, either you leave here voluntarily or we will kill you. It was that extreme. And so I think we have to measure progress based on what we think may be possible. And I don't know if the current situation is drastically different from what we faced then.
And Dr. Toldson, back to you now. You say that school officials should be focused on bridging racial disparities in advanced placement classes. What needs to be done to make that happen?
So there's a lot that could be done. Black students in Arkansas and students of all races need to understand their contribution to the history of the United States. Arkansas history is black history. The two are intertwined. And the contributions of everyone in Arkansas, and the good, bad, and the ugly. Arkansas has heroes in the Little Rock Nine. They have people like Maya Angelou. And there are things that we need to reconcile, like the Elaine massacre that happened in Arkansas. And if the students who integrated Central High School could live it, then the students there right now should be able to learn it. So we really need to understand how to reach and how to teach students of all races. And I believe that by giving them African American studies, I know that myself personally, getting African American studies in high school helped me to do better in all other subjects, including mathematics. When I talked to Ernie Green, who was a member of the Little Rock Nine, he said reading the Miseducation of the Negro sparked his interest in integrating Central High School. So we need to make sure that we give students a material so that they can feel engaged in the academic process.
Dr. Roberts, Dr. Toldson, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.